Today is September 11th, and the Yankees have been rained out, much to my pleasure because I was so tired. I am much more excited to record the voicemail up at a reasonable hour. It's Talking Yanks, and we're talking about whatever you guys would like to talk about. So let's do it. Let's talk Yanks. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in on this fine day. Hopefully you're catching this early on Thursday morning because it's doubleheader day. It's back-to-back doubleheader day. We got a lot of voicemails to record. We got a lot of fun to have. This one, Jake, is brought to you by Roosevelt Shirts. Our friends over at Roosevelt's. We're getting up to an occasion soon where I'm going to pop on my Roosevelt shirt. So be ready for those pictures. Be excited. I got a fresh haircut the other day. It's going to go great with my plethora of Roosevelt shirts. They're conversation starting shirts. You can't go buy a carton of milk without someone asking, where'd you get that shirt? Official fact. They're blowing up. Yankees wear them. Judge wore the Sandlot one. They wore the Savages one. People are collecting them. They're collector's items. So if you want to go collect yourself some Roosevelt shirts, go to rsvlts.com/Jomboy to get 20% off. Jake, how you doing?
Hello, Jim.
Hello, operator.
Hello, man. Happy Wednesday night. Yankees game got rained out. I'm doing generally well. Had a couple weird like 9/11 moments today just because it's so crazy how many years later and the different feeling and stuff around it. And every year you see something new. Like Soto Sano, who's been a big follower of us a while, showed me like the dogs that were involved and saving lives and stuff. And it's just crazy. I know everyone now tells their own story of where they were and all that stuff. And it's funny thinking of some of the younger people, but I don't know. That's kind of crazy. Had some weirdos had some weird thoughts around that today, and then now I'm back in Yankees baseball, babe.
I watched 3 videos every September 11th, and I did look at that dog thread. The boat lift, which I shared on Twitter.
Yep.
President Bush throwing out the first pitch, a little like ESPN 30 on that, and the man in the red bandana, and I cry my eyes out and feel terrible, and then feel great about like the community that rose up. So yeah, that's it's always a whirlwind day. I think it's important. I always text my little brother, intern Luke, and I say, "Hey, watch these. You don't. It's corny. You really shouldn't forget. We're coming up on like 20 years, so it's crazy. That dog thread was awesome. Yeah. So there's that.
Yeah, and it's it was just kind of funny, especially you and I kind of work in these contained environments now. I'm normally in my apartment with the dog all day, and those Talking Yanks faithful that listen heard me open up Sharp Stats yesterday, and we recorded on the 10th, but we say the next day's date, and I was like, I look at the date, and I was like, today is September 11th. Like I was taken aback because normally I'm like in a work environment and there's kind of a buildup, but so yeah, just appreciate it, and hey, it's pretty cool that you and I get to talk Yanks, Jim.
Yeah, I was in 7th grade. And I'll do this quick. And my tech ed teacher, Mr. Vogel, looked at the classroom and said, "You guys will never forget where you are, and you'll never forget who I am when I'm about to tell you this." And he's correct. I remember exactly where I was and who told me, and it's a crazy moment. But all right, the rest of the show should be pretty light and pretty crazy. So
hey, Sevy just pitched, and I was nervous to say anything official, but it sounds like he sounded good, and there's a good chance he is going to be pitching Tuesday the 17th, where we're having our Talking Yanks event. If you're interested in that, check it out. Tweet at us. We'll get you a ticket. All you could drink, all you could eat. Sevy, I'll pretend to promise. Stanton will be back. Oh, Dellen's great too. Dellen will be there. Hicks will get a new right arm. Everyone's going to be there, so come join us.
Hicks is done. I feel terrible, but Hicks is done.
We'll see if it comes up in a voicemail. I just saw someone that said it might be the third field player that might get Tommy John in the past year and a half.
Jeez, crow, Jake. All right, here are the voicemails. We got a lot. Hopefully we can get through them. If we don't get to all of them, we apologize.
Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Oliver calling from Vancouver, Canada, transplant originally from Croton, Hudson, New York. I just finished listening to your Red Sox recap podcast. It was amazing. That was my favorite podcast I ever heard from you guys. So much fun from start to finish and really stuck the landing. I was thinking when I was listening that, it's like the Yankees are in baseball to enjoy that. That was just a fun listen. And that got me feeling appreciative, so I thought I'd just call in, send some appreciation to what you guys have done this year. You really increased my enjoyment of the season. And finally, I wanted to appreciate the season as a whole. I mean, whatever happens in the playoffs, 100 times this year or more, all of our moods are going to have been increased by a Yankee win. There hasn't really been a not fun part of the entire season. The injuries sucked, but then that just led the way to new contributions and new people that we grow to love. So, anyways, just want to say, whatever happens in the playoffs, great job, guys, and so I'll appreciate the season. Thanks a lot.
Good job by intern Luke opening up on such a positive note. Thank you, Oliver. That was very nice. This Canadians are a delight.
We opened with 9/11 memories. We get a big compliment, a little different start to talking Yanks. The one line that cracked me up in there, Jim, was he was talking about at first my instinct, if someone gives me a compliment, I'm going to downplay it first. And I was going to be like, oh, you didn't like the other 400 episodes we put out?
That's
that was
rude.
The best part. But Jim, the part that I loved, he goes, yeah, you guys, great episode. You even stuck the landing. And I was just thinking about how many of our episodes just end with us just going silly off the deep end. And
what was the ending?
There's probably a few people out there that are like, oh boy, we're losing them again. Good episode. And that's it.
What was the ending to the Boston episode?
I'm trying to remember right now, but I just know there's a lot of eps that end with you and me off the rails pretty hard.
Do you think that's what he was referencing there? Like usually endings.
Like maybe that was a subtle jab. And yeah, the only thing, because I just saw this on Twitter, and I think it's an interesting note that a lot of Yankee fans will probably get wrong. Whatever happens this postseason is going to happen. The Yankees are going to finish with the most wins this decade by any baseball team, but they might not get a World Series.
Jake, I liked what he said, where there really wasn't like a bad part of this season. Like more than a 3-game stretch, right? No, so far. We're talking so far. It's been pretty good. Like, what's the worst stretch? Like, we lost to the Tigers early on.
It was like the start of the season. We were like 6-9 or something like that.
We lost the series to the Baltimore and the Tigers to start the season. Then we got swept by Houston. And that was probably worse because the injuries started. Like, Andujar and Stanton just went down.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, like, oh, shit, this could not be fun. But
no, everything that we...
The 3 games in Boston, that was probably the lowest part of the season.
Yeah, and I mean, but still, we still had like a big lead on the division. Like, times weren't that bad. I mean, everything's been pretty nitpicky. A couple hap starts. I mean, I'm trying to think what else. Like, there hasn't even been a point this season where we've looked at a position and be like, God, I hope that guy comes back, because it's the story of the season. All the replacements have been so good. Someone gets hurt. Cameron Maybin plays great. Mike Ford plays great. Like, it's always the next man up. It's a corny phrase, but it's if there's a team that can live by it, it was this Yankees team.
It was. Man, good call by Oliver.
Thanks, Oliver.
I'm going to go listen to the end of the Boston episode to hear our stuck landing, because I don't remember at all.
Yeah, tough.
What's up, Jimmy and Jake? It is your best good friend, Artie from Providence, calling in.
Artie!
I just read the news that Dombrowski was fired. You just hate to see something like that happen. Anyways, here's my question for you guys. Clearly, there are three contenders right now for that wild card spot. One of them's going to win the wild card game, and we as Yankees fans want the Yankees to have the best record in the AL. So, who would you want to face if you could pick of those three teams, Oakland, Tampa Bay, and Cleveland? Personally, right now, I pick Cleveland because they are cooling off the most. But interested to hear what you guys think. Let me know. Love you. Bye.
Love you too, Artie. Jake, someone asked me this. They're like, I don't think I got my call-in time for a voicemail app. Same question. Like, who do you want to face in the DS? Oakland or Minnesota?
I think we have the same last pick, right? The last team we want to see would be Oakland, right?
No. Are the Rays included?
Yeah.
The Rays are the last team I'd want to see.
Really? Why is that?
I think it would sting the most if they lost. I hate whoever runs their social media team with a passion. Right. And I think their pitching is the scariest.
So you think competition-wise, they're also the last team? Because I get if we lose to the Rays, I mean, that would be jokes for months and months and months. But you think pure baseball, it's also the Rays?
Yeah. I mean, playing in the Trop sucks.
Yeah.
The only thing is Tanaka has their number.
Oakland.
This could come back to bite me in the buttocks.
Sure.
Twins, I still don't see as a threat.
Twins are tough because like they could have an incredible playoffs, and you look back and be like, damn, they mash, they're good, or they could like easily be swept, and you'd be like, yeah, that's kind of what we thought, huh?
And I'm leaning towards the latter. And Oakland, we just play so bad in Oakland.
Exactly.
But I don't think I don't think their pitching's that good. Like, I think you can navigate through them pretty easily. Their lineup's good.
Manaya's back. He looks crazy good. I mean, they've got a lot of good bullpen arms. For me, I guess the team I at least want to play is Oakland, second Tampa, third the Twins.
The Twins are your most want to play?
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that. The Rays, though, it just would sting. Fuck the Rays.
I mean, it would sting, but I mean, we're a better team. We've played at the Trop a bunch. We don't have to travel to the West Coast, especially the place that's literally been our house of horrors.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go with you, but.
And like the Rays lineup, man. I mean, they're a good team, but like you mentioned Tanaka's numbers with our full bullpen. Like I think, yeah. Sorry,
Steve from Philly, who I met the other day, I believe, in Lavalette. He left a voicemail. And it was the same question. I was supposed to play him back to back, but I fucked it up. So now I'm just skipping yours, Steve. I apologize.
You want me to say I fucked up? I fucked up.
They're not bad. You want to finish it?
If you don't know, that's a classic Jim Calhoun quote. Google it. But there's so many good parts. I can't just because I could go through the whole thing. I saw Ryan Gomes, 6'5", 290 pounds.
I took Karan Butler and whoever Okafor.
They're
not bad.
It's okay.
Hey, this is Tim from Chicago. On my morning commute, and I'm listening to after the Rangers game podcast, and you guys were talking about how you don't think Giancarlo and Hicks might be back, or you're not like getting ready for it. Who would you rather have, Giancarlo or Hicks, if they're fully healthy? Who would you want back? Hicks is switch hitter, so he gives you the lefty advantage. Giancarlo, when he's right, he's a stud. Also, you said that Giancarlo could possibly only be a DH because he can't really run that well, because he might be stiff. So who do you think they take, Edwin or Stanton for the playoff roster? Because I don't see them taking two of them, and then that puts Voit in the hole. So just let me know what you think. Love what you guys are doing. All right, bye.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Chad from Rockaway, New Jersey. I'm definitely one of those people that is terrible at, leaving voicemails. But I just wanted to hear you guys' thoughts on the playoff roster. I'm assuming they're going to take 13 position players and 12 pitchers. And also everyone debating between Stanton and Tauchman.
I wanted to hear you guys' thoughts on that and for the playoff roster. I don't even think it's close, obviously. But yeah, thanks guys. Take it easy. Bye.
Well, that's dated, right? Jake, Stanton and Hicks. Hicks is not likely, so I was kind of right on that sad premonition.
If he was, just we'll do this quick and
Stanton.
it's fun. Yeah, same. Just because how good Guardy's been.
Yeah, Guardy's been fine, and Stanton's
And
the
Stan
top.
could win. Stan could have a normal series and win the ALCS MVP.
Yeah, he's like one of the best players in baseball.
Yeah. Okay. Next.
And I am worried about how quick he can like turn it on. Because he is a guy that like he was tinkering with new stances, new approaches.
Right.
And if he doesn't have time, does he just default back to that swing and that stance? And is it low slider? So it'll be very interesting. I think he does need to play the outfield. If he can DH only, that puts Edwin at first and Voit as like a platoon bench player. And then where does that even like go? Because
Yeah.
I do think like Stanton is in the lineup. But it's very tricky. I think they're crossing their fingers and saying, hey, Stanton, we need to get you running. Like, at least enough to play. He played all of last September with a partially torn hamstring. So, played the outfield then. So, maybe he can do it again.
Yeah, and so obviously someone mentioned Tauchman. Tauchman hurt his calf. He's out. It gets bizarre, man. We have to see Giancarlo Stanton. Can he play the outfield? If he can, you probably don't even play him in left field at the stadium anyways, because it's a giant left field. I don't know. I mean, I'm falling head over heels for Edwin. I'm having odd thoughts about him. I love him. It's going to be so much like who's swinging a good stick, how healthy is Stanton. And, like, dude, it starts getting bizarro, man. Where do you put Stanton in the lineup? Do you put him 4? Do you put him 8? Do you put him
He's going to be at the top of the lineup. Are you kidding yourself if you don't think, like, when he comes back in these September games, I don't know about postseason, but let's do September first. He's going to be, they said he's going to be back by the next homestand, possibly. Yeah. So what gives us, if he's back by the next homestand, Jake, that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games, which isn't a lot, but it's enough to be like, what do we got here with Stanton in the outfield?
Yeah, and at the plate, man. I mean, if he's healthy, he's on the roster. If Giancarlo Stanton comes back and he does struggle, I think you can comfortably be like, you can leave him mostly on the bench for the division series. You know what I'm saying? You can save him for like a spark if you need it, a pinch hit at bat, something like that. I think that would be fair. I mean, if he comes in and he starts raking, it's Giancarlo Stanton. So it's like not a discussion.
Is it Edwin over Voit easily for you?
As of right now, but I mean, you mentioned the 11 games or whatever starting next homestand, so we've got a couple more before that. I mean, what if Luke Voit gets crazy hot? Like I could easily flip-flop.
16 games left in the season.
I mean, Luke Voigt's the kind of guy that could hit, 400 with a 500 on base and 5 home runs in that span, and it wouldn't surprise you. So it's really going to be – I know it's a fun game to play, but it's going to change when we get there. What did we say about Jay Happ a couple episodes ago?
That he was ugly and you hated his guts, and I said, Jay,
I never said he was ugly.
You did too. You said he looked like
I think he's handsome.
Oh, I like him too.
Okay.
Hey, fellas. Spencer in Midtown here. First time, long time. Just watching our boys play. Guardy just hit the home run. Notice that Cam doesn't opt for the hug with Guardy. He went for the good old ass slap. Thoughts on that? I think that fits with Guardy's personality a little bit. I found it kind of funny. Just curious what your take was. Congrats on all the success. Looking forward to the episode. Thanks.
Thank you, Spencer from Midtown. And what a wild thing, because the 6th voicemail was sponsored by Blue Chew. and it kind of adds up. Blue Chew is prescribed online and it ships straight to your door in a discreet package, so no in-person doctor's visit, no waiting in the pharmacy, and best of all, no more awkwardness about how your dick doesn't work. They're made in the USA, and since Blue Chew prepares and ships direct, they're cheaper than the pharmacy. Right now, we've got a special deal for our listeners. Not me, Blue Chew. But yeah, me too. If you visit BlueChew.com and you get your first shipment free.
Free
boners when you use our special code JOMBOY. Just pay $5 shipping, so not $5 boners. Again, it's BLUE Chew, CHEW.com, promo code JOMBOY. Get it for free. Take it. Let us know how it goes. Document it. Maybe vlog it. Send it in. Talking Yanks sponsored fan content of just that time lapse of your wiener growing up.
Yeah, send some before and afters.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you, Blue Chew, very much for sponsoring this voicemail about how, what is it? How Maben doesn't hug Gardy. He slaps his ass. Well, Gardy's not into that soft shit.
No.
Hug me.
Punish me, Daddy.
Well, Jake, don't be overtly sexual.
What did I say?
People are weirded out.
You do the Blue Chew ad. I just start scratching my leg over here.
You or Noodle?
Yes.
Yeah. You think Maben went for a hug and Gardner was like, nah, dude?
In our dream world and the character that we built Brett Gardner up to be, I picture him, Maben going for a big old hug one time. You know, he's waving the fingers. Come here. I'm going to give you a big hug. And Brett Gardner grabs him by the top of his jersey and he says, Cameron, you'll slap my ass.
Yeah.
And you'll
Whispers
like
it into his neck.
Yeah.
Okay, this is getting too.
It got a little weird. They're both
wrong.
from the Carolinas, so maybe there's something there.
Oh, that's what it is. It's not that Gardy doesn't like hugs. It's that
It's a Carolina
thing. It's Carolina
Yeah.
thing. Damn, cool. That's even more cool.
Hey, boys. Tim from Chicago. One of the things I've been thinking about, I know, John Boy, you're going to hate me for this, but I think if Jay Happ can put together a good September, how he's pitching now, I do think he deserves a spot in the bullpen. I'd rather have him come out for 3 to 4 innings than Montgomery come out for 2 to 3 innings when he hasn't really shown himself. I don't even know what they're going to do with him, if they're going to bring him up to the majors or not. But, I mean, Happ at least has that experience. I'd love to see what you guys think, because this is going to put the Yankees in a tough spot if Happ can put out a good September. All right, let me know what you think. Okay, guys. Bye.
I mean, I think this is a big switch. Thank you, Tim, from Chicago. I think this is a big switch, Jake. I think I was being overtly aggressive against you the other episode, but Happ with his 3 good starts is the long man on the playoff roster.
Yeah, I played the trump card when I told you on the playoff roster you need a stretched out guy. And
and I admitted you were right then.
Yeah. The Happ thing's hilarious, man, because if he gets shelled his next start, I think we're gonna hate him again. But I don't know, man. He's teetering a fine line where if he keeps cruising, he's gonna have a hell of a September. He's at 15 1/3 scoreless, and he's pitching against Detroit as part of a doubleheader tomorrow.
One of tomorrow's lineups is going to be gross. Or do you think they go one good, one gross? It's one ticket, whatever the term is, doubleheader. So it's 30 minutes after the first one ends, the next one starts. So one of these lineups is going to be
50-50.
You think it's
I
going
think
to
they
be
go
50-50?
50-50 because
Split squad?
you need to win the first game because you can't risk getting swept by Detroit. So you're gonna have a B+ lineup out there. And then the second game, I mean, you still don't want to lose the series, so you're probably gonna have a B- lineup. There's some analytics for you.
Manalytics.
I almost just said the F word.
You did? Fundamentals, the big fundy?
The big fundy.
Oh, yeah. Next caller.
fellas, it's Bubak from Nebraska. Hey, sorry I'm not on the lawnmower today, nor am I drinking a nice cold silver snoot. Just listening to the Oakland recap episode, and you were talking about your Roosevelt shirts that you got, John Boy. You mentioned how you might wear them at an upcoming event, and being that I was at the first event, but it got rained out, I just gotta throw this out. You can't wear those. John, you can probably wear those. Jake, you can't. You gotta give them the full experience. Wear the cutoff. Talking Yanks. Look sexy. Get it done. Love you guys. Go Yanks.
Nice. Thanks, Bubak. Well, it's a different event that I'm wearing the Roosevelts at. I think, maybe. Not locked in. The Talking Yanks
Not
event.
locked in.
I'm Talking Yanks event. I'm going to be wearing my Talking Yanks at the stadium shirt. You think I'm not going to fit in? Like the whole crew can't be in one shirt and I'm in a different shirt. That's called being a loser.
Right.
What
Like,
am I, an independent mind? Fuck out of here. I'm a
who
follower.
wants to be the asshole in a crowd of people with the same shirt, and you're the guy that's cut up your shirt, your no sleeves, your belly's hanging out.
Well,
You don't want to
Jake,
be that person.
You have, that's your trademark, and it's cool that you have that.
I've been having a fat week and a half, so I gotta like tighten it up for the next 3 days.
Yeah, well, the Swedish Fish killed you.
Just don't say those words.
When, can you get a P.O. box? At some point, I want to get an address that you check. I want to leak it, and I want people to just mail you Swedish Fish.
Yeah. No, I don't want that.
What if Swedish Fish sponsors something?
I mean, it ran through my mind. It becomes like a matter of like genuine like life and death. Like
Yeah.
every time I go to town on a 5-pound bag of Swedish Fish, like that removes a year easily.
Okay, hold on. Let me just send a quick tweet to Swedish Fish.
Oh,
Sponsor Talkin' Jake. Question mark. That's all. That's all.
these are so delicious they make me violently ill.
Yeah.
Get yours today.
Once I eat one, I eat so many that I get depressed and mad at myself.
I lose complete control of myself as a person in this society.
Yeah. If I mix one with Blue Chew, I end up fucking my dog.
Well, that's not every
Hey,
time.
John Boy Jake, Bill from Austin. So we've seen how important rest days are throughout the season, especially for guys like Judge and other guys in the lineup. How do you think Booney's going to work that during the playoffs? Do you think it's going to be rest as much as we can before the playoffs and then all-out sprint? Or do you think he's going to work in some rest days, rest innings during the playoffs? Love the show. Can't wait to hear what you guys got going on in the future. Go Yanks.
They're going to work in rest days. We've kind of talked about this a lot. Phil might have called before all that. I think that they're going to pick and choose their series, like the 2 games against Tampa. I think the Angels series are going to be get healthy series, and they might surround Sevy and Stanton with the A lineup. But, the Tigers, they're not going to run out the A lineup because if they have a pitcher who can throw a ball correctly, they should be able to beat them with the B lineup bats. The pitching, Jake, do you think they'll do a full punt day with the pitching again? 16 games left. 2 more of those, you think? Like Nestor to Lyons to Guerin to Chance Adams? I don't know if they can. Honestly, they can win games with the B bats. They can't win games with the B arms. They're so bad.
And that's the only part that truly sucked about the loss to the Tigers. Like, losses happen. It is what it is. But if you were willing at one point in that game to use Ottavino and Britton, then jump in a little earlier and stop the bleeding a little bit. Jim, I'm not giving any promises, man, because there's a doubleheader tomorrow. And we're going to use a lot of arms, and that could set us up for another day. So
all
it's
right, doubleheader aside, 14 games after that. Because you're right. With the doubleheader, we're going to see a lot of sloppy pitchers.
And I think there are 3 off days. I think Monday's an off day, and then I think there's a split week coming up. I think 2 is probably the number that you're going to see slobs out there, and you just hope that there's 2 blowout wins that we could use them in. Because you're right. Our C squad hitting is pretty impressive. Our B squad pitching is horrendous.
Yeah.
And that's not really a shot at the Yankees either. There's no team in baseball that their 14th pitcher is a good dude. Like, that's not how baseball works.
Yeah, that's true. So I think give me like maximum 2 more.
Jim, I'll give you something more so on the lineup. Do you think they could go more so spring training mode and they could like start their good lineups kind of every day and then just sub them in after an at bat or 2? Would you prefer that?
Yeah, I'd prefer that for that last stretch. The last stretch of games. It's away, 2 in Tampa and then 3 in Texas. I would prefer that, Jake, because I think that gets the guys in their routine of starting every day and going through the motions of starting every day and whatever their pregame routine is and in the cages and doing this and get your 2 at bats. Maybe do it, let them decide, hey, you know, I was fucking terrible in the first 2. I need 1 more. Or, you know what, I got 2 hits. I'm good. But I think that's a great idea to round out the season because that routine is what you need. You need, you know, to get into that rhythm of starting every day. So yeah, I like that. Maybe, you know, Toronto through Texas, that's what they do. The A lineup starts and then they just get subbed out earlier.
Yeah, definitely that last series at Texas. We'll see what they do. I mean, there's so many ways to skin a cat. Where do you usually start?
When I skin a cat?
Eyeballs, right?
That made me cringe a little.
Yeah, that's pretty. I tried to think of the grossest thing I could.
That was bad.
Yeah.
What up, talking Yanks? This is Willie from the South Street Seaport. Shout out Fish Market, best Yankees bar in Manhattan.
Shout out.
What's up? If you know, you know. Quick question. I was wondering if you guys think that if Hicks and Stanton both don't come back, do you think we can run the table and win the World Series? I don't see it. I think Hicks is definitely out for the year. I don't know about Stanton, maybe.
Willie.
Been running the table without him, Willie.
Willie. They ain't been playing Willie.
I mean, Willie, we say this in a nice way, but they ain't been playing.
They
got the best record in baseball.
Hey guys, this is Austin from up in the Rochester area. What a thought. Heard a couple of voicemails from a while back saying what each player will be doing at the party, but I don't know if you guys have said what they're actually going to bring to the party. Just a thought, whether it be a beach party or house party. Alright, hot take, Jake does not suck. Have a good one, guys. Go Yanks.
Austin from Rochester, a known liar.
Please don't call in with your hot takes. Thank you.
We've kind of done this already. Like, who's going to bring
what are they bringing to the party?
Yeah, what are they bringing to the party?
So we need a party.
So we did beach barbecue already.
The beach thing.
Okay.
What about like football Sunday? Is that fun enough?
All right, we'll do football Sunday.
Okay.
Ottavino is bringing like all the dips his wife made.
I was gonna go Ottavino brings an Etsy dip. It's like a know how there's that football field dip you can make? That's Ottavino and his wife. That's their Saturday project. He brings that.
Cece's bringing like a rack of ribs.
I was gonna go wings. I was going wings.
Like delicious from his favorite place. He's not making that.
He flew him in from Oakland.
That's they're his favorite ribs.
There's no question. Or his mother made them.
Yeah. Gardner, just beer. Just like a case of Bud Heavies.
Adds up.
Chad Green, nothing.
Pack of gum.
No, it's nothing. It's like, okay. Doesn't address it either.
No.
Who else is there? Glaber? Probably like some sort of tequila.
I could
Glaber
see
and Gio bring the same tequila, and they're like laughing about it.
they're laughing. You got to figure one of the Latin guys brings like a really cool salsa or something. Like there's a Latin guy salsa area, and then an everybody else salsa area.
One of the Latin guys brings a soccer ball and says, "This is real football."
Yeah, classic joke, all timer.
Edwin. Dad joke.
It's good.
Edwin
Thought we were
also
watching
says,
football.
I also brought Glaber.
Yeah. Glaber drove me.
All right.
What's going on, guys? This is Connor from Jersey, now at the University of South Carolina. Question is, current Yankee player, current Yankee players, I should say, do you think we get along really well with certain, like, or Babe Ruth and Luke Voigt just drinking beers and chowing down hot dogs together? Something like that. Go Yanks. See you guys later.
Man, different era, man. I don't think Babe Ruth or Mickey Mantle get along with any of the people on this team. I think they call them fucking pussies and, like, whatever that term was back then. Like, you don't drink? We used to drink, like, you know, you gonna play drunk on Saturdays? Or you fucking pussy? Yogi gets along with everyone.
Yogesh gets along at everyone. No, it's the fun. I think you see this in a group of people when you have two people that cover up the same niche in your friend group. Like they're if you bring together a couple groups of friends and you have the two guys that are entertainers, and you're kind of looking at each other, you're sizing each other up a little bit, and then you kind of have a moment of the side where like you talk to each other on a real level, like, you know, these are my people. Well, no, these are my people. I think that would be such a good Jeter and Judge at this party. Like there'd be an image of Jeter and Judge with their arms crossed, like not looking at each other. They're standing side by side and they just lean their neck and they say a sentence every now and then.
I've said this, I don't know where I said it. I'd love to know what Judge thinks of Jeter, honestly.
Right.
Like, only his parents know. Like, does he not think of him? Does he think of him as the Marlins man? Does he know the constant comparisons and that he does answer questions just like him? Is it annoying to be constantly compared to him? So he's like, fuck that. Has Jeter never, like, reached out and been friendly? So he kind of is like, this sucks. Like, I just love to know, and we'll never, ever know. But I'd love to know. I've got Jeter, I need to answer politically correct.
I've got the arms crossed, and Jeter's like, so you haven't tried doing the gift bag thing, huh? He's like, you should try it out. Just telling you, works.
Yeah. And Torreyes and Phil Rizzuto would get along, and that's obvious. Finally, someone I can see eye to eye with.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Owen from Minneapolis. Go Yanks. Jordan Montgomery pitched 3 innings while we're fucking around with the Tigers. I have a prediction. I'm pretty sure I know what you guys are going to say, but my prediction is that Gumby will have a phenomenal outing one time in the playoffs.
Whoa.
I'm guessing ALCS Game 5.
Whoa.
He's going to throw 3 innings of shutout ball, and we're going to remember him as a god, no matter what he does next year or the rest of his career. Go Yanks. Love you guys. Congrats on all the success.
What do you think about that from Owen, Jake?
Hey, I wouldn't hate it if it's a good thing. And I mean, yeah, if we get to see 2 Gumby games and he looks good and he takes a spot from Sessa, no fight here.
Okay. Take the spot from Sessa, Gumby. Fucking do it. Do it. Next up, Jake, we have Luke's voicemail of the day. Wow. Which is brought to you by Instinct Dog Training. Have a dog? Have a dog? Have a friend named Jake? Sign them up for Instinct certified veterinarian recommended training. They can help with obedience. Does he bite you all the time? Manners. Does he not say please and thank you? Behavior issues like fear. Is he scared of loud noises? Does he hide when the vacuum comes out? Aggression. Does he attack the vacuum?
Is he a drinker?
Yeah. Have drugs found their way into his everyday lifestyle? Does he suffer from anxiety, weighed down from the weight of the world and all its pressures of trying to make it in this 9-to-5 grind?
Noodle, I found this bag of pot you've been smoking with that John Boy fella again, huh?
Yeah.
You got to get some training.
You are on your way to Instinct Dog Training. I might even get you private lessons so you don't have friends to be around.
Right.
And I'm going to use code Talkin' Yanks when booking to get 10% off board and train camp or private lessons. So if you got dog with problems or a friend named Jake, sign him up for InstinctDogTraining.com. Use code Talkin' Yanks when booking to receive 10% off board and train camp or private lessons.
Go to the site, click around a little bit. The owner's a friend of the program. A fan of the program.
They got offices, they got places in facilities in Manhattan and Bergen County.
Bring your dog there. Take a picture of them. Send that picture to me.
Jake, I wanted to let our audience know in a moment of transparency, because we are pretty transparent with you guys nonstop. We've been growing. Things have been going really well. And the ads are going to change a little bit moving forward because, hey, we're going to have actually a sales team that helps us with advertisements, and we don't have to do it ourselves anymore. And It's exciting, and I'm a little hesitant. So bear with us as we go through this process of seeing what style ads and amount of ads best fit our audience and all of that. But just know it's great for us, and it's going to allow us to do a lot more and all that good stuff. And we thank you guys for getting us to this point. I just want to let you know, be on the lookout. I don't know if it's next episode or 5 episodes away, but at some point, the ads will be changing a little bit, like a real show.
Like a real boy.
All right, here's the voicemail of the day.
Boys, what's going on? It's Greco down in Dallas. Had a few things on my mind the last few weeks. The main one is, let me kick you a scenario. John and Susan are getting old. In a few years, maybe they retire. You guys keep blowing up. Maybe they ask you to fill in the radio voices of the Yankees. Here's my questions. Do you feel obligated to keep doing the home run calls? Do you keep the traditional ones or make up some of your own? And Jake, do you feel like you've got to do the Roman voice as a home run call? Fly ball. Deep to right. It is high. It is far. It is gone. All right. Here comes the judge.
Was that Susan Wallman doing a call?
That was my ancient Rome voice from Laughs from the Past.
Yeah, that was your ancient Rome voice.
That's what he said.
Can you
which,
hit
by
us?
the way, I love.
Can you hit us with your ancient Rome voice with the call? Do A-Bomb from A-Rod. Ancient Rome orator A-Rod from A-Bomb from A-Rod.
The 2-2 to Rodriguez. It is fine. It is fine. It is gone. An A-Bomb from A-Rod. The
Not
Roman
bad.
Coliseum's going nuts.
A little more shrill, I think, usually.
A lot of A's in there. I think it's tough to shrill an A.
Okay, burn, baby, burn.
I mean, we get lost in this. I'll say this. I don't want to be the people to replace John and Susan.
Oh,
it's a trap.
What a terrible gig.
That's a trap.
Someone casually said, like, oh, yeah, bought a new radio station. We're looking for spots to fill. Why don't you send over your podcast? Maybe. And they're just throwing a bone because it's not actually going to happen. And I was like, man, what would it take for me to go do, like, a midday terrestrial radio show?
Was that terrestrial?
Yeah, terrestrial.
Like E.T.?
No, not like ET. Terrestrial. That's a different word. You never heard of it called that? That's what it's called.
I know the extraterrestrial, that's like an alien, E.T.
Terrestrial radio. Any radio signal that travels along the land is broadcast from a land-based station and is received by a land-based receiver is called terrestrial radio. You never heard like, I guess you don't listen to a lot of terrestrial radio.
No.
If you listen to The Fan, they say it a lot.
Right.
The number one show on terrestrial radio. Bro. I hear the Yankees lost a series to Detroit.
I was wondering. I saw your brain start firing and the words didn't come out yet, and I was wondering where you were going, and it's schmoozer time.
Detroit, the worst team in baseball. The Yankees, the best. We'll give them a run for our money. That was bad, but I love the schmoozer.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna. I've got some Tiger jokes in there for the schmoozer, but again, we could get lost in that really quickly.
Yeah. Chance Adams, who didn't have a chance. It's probably what he said, to be honest.
What's up, boys? It is Jordan from Boston. Watching the game tonight, Gleyber just hit number 34. Cannot believe in his second season he already has 34 jacks. Who knows how many he's going to have when you guys play this, but wanted to know, what's the biggest surprise this year? Is it Tauchman? Is it Stanton not playing? Is it Gleyber with 34 bombs? Let me know. Go Yanks.
I got asked this on MLB Network or DAZN. It's Gio Urshela for me. Tauchman is crazy, but he's like Voit, where he never had a chance in the MLB. So it was like, you know, if you ask Tauchman or people that watched him in the minors, they're like, this isn't a surprise. This is what he's done. He never started games in the MLB. He came as a pinch hitter. So I don't think it's that surprising. Gio Urshela had like 2 legit chances, Jake, at an MLB career, and was swinging a wet newspaper at the dish. And now he's like, was in contention for a batting title, and the bat is just as good as the glove. That is the biggest surprise of the season for me, hands down.
Yeah, Urshela is up there, man. I think the only other candidate would be Domingo.
Yeah, but you even called that, and you're a simpleton, so for you to be able to call it.
Right, if I could be able to put together those thoughts, anyone can. Yeah, Urshela's the right answer because he had an opportunity. And dude, it was so funny. I had my first whoa moment was that first time we went to play the Indians. I want to say it was in June or July. And it was when we traded for Edwin. And we were in Cleveland, and Gio was boys with all those boys. And they showed the highlight of that play he made at third base where he dives across the third base line and like from one knee he throws over the runner. I think it's Torreyes, so over the runner, not as impressive. But he makes the throw and they tag Torreyes out at home plate. And it's like, that was that dude? Because as you know, my affinity for third base, I saw that play and I flashed back and I was there watching it again. Like my body went back.
Gagging on Swedish Fish.
Oh my God. Another Swedish Fish binge. So yeah, Urshela's up there, Domingo, and Jim, you gave me a little compliment on there because I took a chance on Domingo before the season. You'll also remember this, and this wasn't me taking much of a chance, but I had a weird freak out before the season started where I was like, what if Gleyber gets better? Like I said that on like every podcast leading up to the season because it never went through my head, and now we're seeing it.
We're seeing it.
What's going on, guys? Just calling to talk about Chad Green. He pitched 3 innings the other night. What's going on with that? I feel like we don't give enough love to Chad the dad. Yeah, how do you feel about him being like a big, long reliever? Does he fit that role, or the fact that he can go just 1 to 3 innings? That all sounds great. Talk about it. Thank you.
Yeah, I think we've talked about it a good amount. They clearly by design stretched him out. Have thrown him 30 pitches in his last. I mean, I can bring it up, but in his last, I think 5 outings, He's gone 30-plus pitches. Ooh, there might be one in there that's less than because we needed him. But, let's see. Yeah, there's one. So, okay, listen to his last 7 outings. 35 pitches, 35 pitches, 34 pitches, 40. Then there's an 18-inning outing where we just needed him to get 1 out for us because something happened. Someone got hurt. I forget what it was. Then 39 pitches and 37 pitches.
Jim, that's when Britton got hurt because
Yeah.
Chad came in and he was like uncomfortable because Chad used to know when he's
Britton cramped up. So that 18 from Chad almost doesn't really count because by design they made a swift change halfway through August to say like, okay, time to stretch Chad out. Before that, you know, it's 11, 24, 21, 24, 25. You know, it's more of like a fireman type thing. And so, yeah, it's by design, and I think it's for the playoffs. And I'm excited about it. It's a really good weapon to have. If a starter sucks, like we just saw with Tanaka, he could only go 4 innings. Say that's the playoffs, his leash is probably shorter. Last year, we didn't have this guy. When Sebi sucked and CC sucked, they didn't have like, okay, boom, Chad's the replacement. He goes
Jim, the breakout in case of emergency guy was Dellin.
Yeah, that's who they used, and he was awesome.
They moved Dellin up, and it was cool. But if you could save Dellin, that's also cool.
Yeah, so I'm excited about what they're doing with Chad.
Hey, what's up, John Boy and Jake? This is Amato in California. Wanted to know what you guys think about the pairing of CC Sabathia and Domingo Germán here the rest of the season. Sabathia starting, going 3 or 4, hopefully, and then coming on in with Germán. I personally love it because I want to see Germán get 20 wins this year, but I don't want to see him expend a bunch of innings. So you can't get a win as a starting pitcher, but you can come in number 2. So save CC a little bit, let Germán get his 20, and let's see what they both have going into October. Want to see your thoughts.
We talked about this in the pregame. Thank you, Amato. I always think he says this is Amato from California, and then I'm waiting for him to drop a life motto on me, you know.
Oh.
And then I'm like, oh, that's his name, Amato.
Oh.
So if you just come with like, you know, a cool motto.
Amato's motto.
Yeah, please, you know.
Gotcha.
Do you have a life motto?
Not really. If I would, it's probably something darker than I normally bring to Talking Yanks. So
I have one.
What do you got?
You know it.
Eat a bug?
No, try your hardest, do your best.
It's not bad.
What's the end of it? But nothing matters.
Try your hardest, do your best.
But nothing matters.
Mediocre. You used to have another line in there.
Average is ideal.
Average is ideal. Yeah.
Average ain't bad. I'll switch it to that. Average ain't bad.
Okay.
My dad hated that last line.
Yeah.
Try your hardest, do your best.
Because you're supposed to like strive for more.
But the thing is like do good and try your hardest and do your best, but not because if you don't attain what you wanted, it'll crush you. Do it just because that's what you should be doing, and if you don't reach it or attain it, hey, you tried your hardest, you did your best.
If you've done your best, you should be happy where you land.
Yeah, with your effort.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Like you're not going to be able to fly, Jake, but if you try your hardest and do your best at it, you'll be happy with that you tried.
Yeah, you could fly once.
I think that's called falling with style.
Hell yes.
Oh yeah. I mean, your character from Toy Story is Rex.
I don't have a Toy Story character.
Okay, that's something else. CC and Germán, I talked about this on the pregame show. I feel a little bad for Germán, like that he doesn't get to start, and I also think that to spite CC in his last 3 weeks here would leave a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths because it's not necessary. But I wonder how it works. So, like, I wouldn't want, they batted Posada 9th, and that was, like, a really sour taste for Posada and everyone. Posada wasn't good, so I understand, I understand it. But, like, when you look back at that now, it's like, that wasn't necessary. Or when Joe Torre batted A-Rod 8th just to, like, teach him a lesson, it's like, in the end, like, this just comes off as kind of like unnecessary, a bit petty. And this wouldn't be petty, but like, let CC get his start in 3 innings because it's gonna hinder his pride a little if he doesn't in the regular season. Now, I think Herman should be starting in the postseason. I don't know.
And hopefully, I mean, CC can find a little something and look all right. Look like at least the CC we've seen the past couple years. And Jim, because you're right, we did talk about this on the pregame show. If you haven't been, check it out. And Jim, this is kind of a new revelation since then, but in the playoffs, you have to start Herman. Because if you start CC or Hap and they get touched up and you have to go to Herman, it's like, why'd we even bother? Like, we screwed up if that happens, if Herman goes out there, he does his thing, does well or gets touched up, and you need CC to come in and get a tough lefty or something like that. Or, if Herman clearly doesn't have it and you need to go to Hap or CC, you can then say, well, Herman didn't have it, so we tried going to Hap or CC. If Hap or CC don't have it, and then you go to Herman, it's like, well, why are we already down 2-0? That was dumb.
Yeah. They can't start CC in the playoffs. Come on. Can't do it. Can't play with them. All right, next call.
Fellas, it's Bubak, Nebraska again. I'm not on the mower. I don't have a cold, ice cold silver snoot in my hand. I'm actually at work painting a wall right now, which is not fun by any means. But hey, I got a dilemma here. Maybe you guys can help me. My awesome crafting that I do with the home plate signs. I've got a couple inquiries for a Red Sox home plate flag, and I'm all about making money, but it's kind of a moral view. I just don't know if I can bring myself to making a really cool looking Red Sox home plate flag. What would you guys do? Help me out, fellas. Love the show. Love what you do. Go Yanks.
Bubak made us, I'll show the chat if I can, a cool home plate flag that has the Yankees logo as where the stars are, and then stripes, and then a Talking Yanks logo on it as well. I have it in the office. I love it. I told him he should make them for a lot of teams. They're cool. It's like a home hanging on your wall. It's home plate flag. Yeah, you got to make a Red Sox one. I don't know. I mean, what you got to do? Like when they built the new Yankee Stadium, a Red Sox fan buried a Red Sox jersey in the concrete, and Steinbrenner went and dug it up.
Yeah.
You got to leave in pencil a little note on the back that just says Red Sox suck.
Red Sox are bad, is what I'd put.
Yeah. Sign it, Dombrowski.
DD.
Yeah.
What's going on, John Boy? Papi Gordo? Jake? It's your boy Angel Torres from Virginia. So I was just thinking right now, if you have to guess who out of our coaching staff, who do you think will be the next manager in another major league team? Who do you think has the qualities to be the manager next year? I was just curious, thinking that right now. Go Yanks!
We did this once before, and we really didn't have an answer. I don't think Nevin. He's too much of that one personality, kind of. It seems, at least. Bard, we said he's the least. He got motherfucker last episode. He's the least vocal bench coach. I don't even know. Larry's next in line, and Larry was a manager who failed, and he can't be a manager. He's too curmudgeon-y. You need to be flexible with your personality, and neither of them really have it. So, I don't know.
Bard, Beltran, if we're counting him.
Oh, if we count Beltran, then it's Beltran.
Or Jim, the wild card is Marcus Timms. I mean, he can point. We mentioned Gio Urshela. We mentioned the growth of a lot of hitters. We mentioned Mike T. I mean, he can take credit for a lot of those guys. Not saying whether deserved or not, because that sounds a little rude. But I don't know. You could see someone point at Marcus Timms and being like, he knows something about hitting. He's well liked. Run it.
He is well liked. What about Harkey?
Love Mike Harkey.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
We used to talk about Mike Harkey a lot. I'm going to start talking about him more.
Okay. Last voicemail of the day.
Last one.
What's up, guys? This is Nick from Utica, New York. 3 quick things. What's the deal with Nestor answering the phone in the bullpen? I thought it was funny. Larry Rothschild didn't seem crazy about it. 2, what's the deal with the fact that they still have phones with cords to use in the bullpen? I feel like technology should be a little more advanced. I don't know why they still do that. And 3, give Paxton the ball. He is a beast. All right, guys. Thanks. Keep doing it.
Hey, a wired phone will always work better than a non-wired phone. I mean, that's just how that works.
Kinda. You see a weird amount of issues for phones that are wired to just one other phone.
You get an unwired phone in the bullpen and a prankster out there, they're hiding the phone.
Oh, yeah.
They're like keeping it under their seat. Like, I'm the phone guy. Mike Harkey's not standing for that.
Well, I'm saying Mike Harkey has his own personal cell phone on him.
No, illegal.
Okay.
Nestor did have to answer the phone. So did Chad. They all had to answer the phone. Harkey was busy. I don't know what that transaction was. I was kind of out of it, so I didn't really look into it. Just seemed like they called and said, hey, he might come in this inning. And Nestor went and told Harkey, like, say you need him this inning.
Well, it was just wild because I think the phone stopped working, and then Harkey is literally trying to yell to the dugout from the bullpen, and it's like, what year is it?
He did the whistle.
He did the whistle.
It's like, Harkey, that's just not going to work.
No chance.
There's no way that you're whistling and they're hearing you.
Yeah, it's
dumb.
Dumb.
That was our last voicemail, Jake. All 20. We got through them.
Not bad.
How you feeling about it?
Feel pretty good.
I poured myself this glass of water. I didn't drink any of it. Now I got kind of a headache. That's a bummer.
Dude, I had a LaCroix here. I forgot to even open it. It's behind the laptop. I'm so dumb.
Doesn't pay to be dumb.
Dumb life.
Why don't you make that like your brand? Like, we'll make shirts that say bad brain, dumb life.
Yeah. Make my mom cry. No, that's fine.
I think that's a good t-shirt.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
You know, like that company, Life is Good, and there was just a kid in college who made a little figurine of a person.
Right.
Life is good, and now it's worth millions of dollars.
Right.
The opposite of that. We make a whole clothing line that says bad brain. Or like, what was the term we were saying? Dumb something?
Swedish fish. Dumb life.
Dumb life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just lowercase letters on a shirt. Says dumb life.
Now the whole world knows, Jim. Congrats.
It's not about you. Other people can wear it and feel akin to you. That they're in it with you.
Jim, I'm telling you, just told the idea. Someone's going to take it and run with it.
Oh.
We're locked up in baseball season. Gee.
No, we're pretty transparent here. If you steal that idea from us, we will cut off.
You're willing to have it. What'd you say?
I'd say I was kind of fading out, and this is the end of the episode. Thanks to everyone that called in. Hey, we'll be back tomorrow to recap Game 1, which was a doozy, and then the doubleheader. Busy day for us tomorrow, Jake. Tune into the pregame show. Tune into everything. Thank you very much. Go Yanks. Tell them, Grams.
Go Yankees.
Eat shit. Jake, the chat has so many questions for you.
Okay.
They're like going off. I know your answer to this. They're very concerned about why the handles on your cabinets are the way a drawer would be and not a cabinet. They should be horizontal for a cabinet, and they should be vertical for a cabinet, horizontal for a drawer. And they're wondering if you're so short that those are the drawers.
So no. This is new technology, Jim. Because when you had to place the handle, originally you'd have to place it on the side of the door if it's vertical, where it opens. Having the horizontal handle, you can grab there, and it's more symmetrical across the way.
Which way do they open? That's what I wouldn't know. I'd want to just pull it out straight, but it's...
No fucking clue.
Well, can you demonstrate one of the cabinets for us?
There's a lot of distractions currently going on. I think it's also like this one's going to open this way. Yeah.
Yeah. It does seem odd that there was no open.
Shit. This is fun.
What happened? You hurt yourself?
Just whacked my elbow. Because I tried to open my cabinets from over here.
Yeah, it's probably because the handles are so misplaced.
No.
Do you like the handles?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. Jimmy, will you live stream your shaving your beard plus putting your beard on Jake's face? I don't think we're going to live stream. I think we're going to make a video of it, like so it's a finished product. And we're going to drop it on this YouTube channel to entice people to subscribe to the YouTube channel. I got bumps in my head.
You're going to want that on the main stage.
I got bumps in my head, Jake.
Pimples?
Maybe spider bites. I took the best nap today.
Heard.
It's a little sweaty. I enjoyed it a lot, though. Oh, now they think that they saw contraband in those cabinets. A lot of weed, they're saying.
Nope. Tupperware.
Okay, next question from Mark. Does Jake live there? Answer honestly.
I do.
Said it seems like it was your first time opening the cabinets.
Okay. I'm done with all cabinet questions.
Oh, wow. Hard stop
on the cabinet. On that too. Gonna be firm on that.
Okay. We'll get back to the cabinets next week. But not your cabinets. We'll just talk about other cabinets.
Other cabinets.
I saw an apartment today.
Yeah.
I actually loved the cabinets. I told Katie good cabinets in this apartment.
I'm a big backsplash guy.
Yeah, underneath the cabinets?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. There's a corner cabinet in this apartment I saw that I love those because you can put the wheelie thing in there and you can really utilize all the space. So that's good. Next question, Jake. Is someone holding you hostage?
I think so.
Jess doesn't have a gun pointed at you?
I didn't say that, but I said I don't think so.
Yo, that video of that Vietnam prisoner of war doing Morse code with his eyes is one of the cooler things.
Crazy.
Yeah. Do you know what he said with his eyes? The Morse code?
Nope.
He just said, just farted.
That's not true.
Well, after he said, please help me, I'm being held captive. He did also just farted.
All right.
Okay, Carl says, my post-recording question's going to get skipped over again. Scroll up. I got to find Carl's question, and then we'll get out of here. The updated telegrams from earlier in the year was still never put into end of the episodes. Yes.
Damn.
Because I didn't like it as much. I love the Go Yankees. And the updated one was more, Go Yankees!
I mean, you're a bad salesman because that sounds fantastic.
And I think I lost the video. If I can find the video right now, I'll play it. Because I just recorded it on my phone. But I cleaned up my phone the other day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, there's a ton of shit on here. Too many videos. I still have all those pictures of you.
Lucky.
With that Yankee Stadium.
Show off.
Was that before or after winter meetings? That's where I'm at right now. Wow, you're just not going to tell me, huh?
No idea.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. All right, here you go. Tell me what you think.
Tell him, Grandma. Go Yankees! Yeah. Can you got one more in you? Yeah, sure.
All right, ready?
Different days already.
1, 2, 3. Tell him, Grandma.
Go Yankees!
What do you think?
I like it.
What's the chat think? Jarv has another question, Jake. I'm not sure you're going to like this one.
Okay.
I think the chat's poking you. He
Okay.
said, is Jake picking the under in Detroit Game 1 the worst bet in Talking Yanks history?
No, I don't think that's a poke at all. That might be a quite honest thing. I thought Detroit would be more dead than dead. And Jim, I think if the pitching could hold on to anything, I think that's what would have happened. The Yanks offense was ready to turn it off at 6-0, and let's end this as quickly as possible. But the pitching was atrocious.
Yeah. Bad bet.
That was a bad bet.
All right. We're out of here. I got to edit. It's 10 o'clock. I was wanting to make so many breakdowns, and tomorrow's a fucking double header. This sucks. All right. See you guys. Thank you.